We've been taught to think about happiness and fulfillment in the wrong way. Every day we have to deal with different types of stress and negativity, and often our default response is just to try to buckle down and push through. It's like we think, if I can just solve this one problem, and then that one, then eventually I'll get through them, and then I can be happy, then I can feel secure. But there are two problems with that. Firstly, it's a lie. There's always another problem, always another excuse not to be happy. And secondly, it takes us out of the present moment so that we miss the beauty and the joy of where we are right now. So, whatever you're going through right now, whether you're stressed out, overwhelmed, frustrated, whatever it is, I want to help you shift into a better state because we always have the ability to pivot away from our external problems and towards an inner sense of ease and well being. And when we do, our problems actually get easier because we begin to think more clearly, we get more of the right things done, and we become more present and more fulfilled along the way. I call it the path of alignment because it feels like coming home, like coming back to what is actually right for us individually. I'm Kyle Greenfield. I'm the founder of thejoywithin.org, where I help people to shift from a state of unconscious unhappiness to a more conscious and deliberate joy. It's a move from feeling like life is constantly happening to you, like you're constantly stressed or worn down or just something isn't quite right, to feeling more in control, to knowing that all is well with you, knowing that you are on track. It's just this indescribable sense of peace and of well-being that you can tap into every single day. So in this video, I want to walk you through what I call the path of alignment. It's the 5-step framework that I use to start with wherever I am today, whatever I'm feeling right now, and take simple steps to move into a better state. By the way, if this resonates with you, you can head over to thejoywithin.org to take a free self-assessment and discover how you can apply this process to the specific challenges that you are facing right now. Fundamentally, the path is really simple. We want to move from reacting to life, from feeling out of control, to flowing with it, living from a sense of calm, confident clarity. So the 5 steps are designed to move us through that. First, we step back and reset. Then we turn within so we can begin to shift our self-talk. And often, in the moment, just those first 3 steps are enough to raise our energy. But over time, we also want to update our beliefs so we can stop holding ourselves back and start acting in alignment with higher and higher states of joy. And in one sense, we are always already doing this. We are constantly moving in and out of alignment, flipping between different thoughts and moods as we go about our day. Following this path is about being able to gain control over that motion so that when you feel triggered, when that bad mood hits, you don't lose your day. You can recover quickly and easily. And the amazing thing is, as you get used to this flow, this dance of alignment, you stop seeing all of those problems as being so bad because you start to see them as opportunities to come back into alignment, to come back to yourself. So challenge becomes a vehicle for deepening your joy. Alignment begins with the ability to catch your thoughts. Step 1 is about knowing how to step back so that when you feel stressed out, when you feel negative, you become aware of that feeling quickly and can reset. That means doing whatever it takes to find a single moment of relief. We want to be able to interrupt that negative thought, even if just for a second, because that brief space will give us the time we need to begin to make a shift. The problem for most of us is that even when we find that space, our negative thoughts will just come flooding right back. They're still active, still pressing in on us. So step 2 is about turning within. Our goal here is to be able to detach from those thoughts by lingering into the stillness, the well-being that is already within us. We call that inner feeling resonance. And as you learn to identify that space, it will lead you into deeper feelings of peace, clarity, and ease. From that space, our negative thoughts can't press in on us in the same way. It's kind of like being in the eye of the storm. Our problems might still rage around us, but we can feel calm and centered. Now at this point, we haven't actually dealt with the problem. We haven't done anything to change our thoughts. So step 3 is about beginning to shift our self-talk. If we followed step 2, we're now feeling a little more centered, which gives us the ability to start to see through the stories that we've been telling ourselves. And we can use that inner resonance to guide us. We can begin to recognize how each thought impacts our energy. So we can talk ourselves off the ledge, so to speak, by reaching authentically, deliberately, for a better feeling thought. Shifting our self-talk will raise our energy now, in this moment, and it's probably good enough to get you in a better mood so that you can go about your day. But those negative stories that we have to soothe often come from deeper fears and limiting beliefs. And if we don't update those beliefs, we'll just get triggered again and again by the same patterns. So what we can do is we can use the negativity, we can use the stories that we were telling ourselves to point us towards the beliefs that we need to change. And this is where resonance becomes so powerful, because as we become more attuned to that thought-feeling connection, we can use the resistance that we feel to help clarify and then see through our biggest fears. It's like a light comes on and we see how our limiting beliefs, which we all have by the way, have been holding us back, and they start to seem silly, almost nonsensical. Then we can just let them go. We can just choose new beliefs that better serve us, beliefs that propel us towards our goals rather than hold us back. And with every fear that we knock back, with every belief that we update, we become more and more like the person that we prefer to be. We become better able to act in alignment with our highest joy. When we stop hesitating and just start to flow, we begin to act knowing that we are on track, and we don't have to worry so much about how every detail is going to work out, because we just know, we're just aligned, it just feels right. And I know at first this sounds strange. I know for me, personally, I'm a super logical person. My mind tries to plan and predict everything. But as I've learned to act from alignment, I've found it to be a virtuous cycle. When you take aligned action, even just small steps at first, you get positive feedback, which allows you to trust a little bit more and become more willing to take aligned action in the future. So you get more and better results, and you just enter into deeper and deeper states of joy and fulfillment as you go about each day. At least that's been my experience, and it's been the experience of so many of the clients I work with as well. Life just flows more easily. And the beauty is, it just doesn't stop. These 5 steps aren't something that you do once and check off your list. They are guiding principles that will lead you perfectly down your individual path of personal growth. On any given day, we might bounce in or out of any one of these steps. We might be triggered yet again by that thing that we thought we'd already resolved. And that's okay. That's normal. Over time, this path unveils new insights, new levels of awareness for you. And it always leads you into love, into joy, peace, and well-being. And I think we all deserve that. So to get started, there are 2 things you can do. And they're both free, so don't worry. By the way, I earn my living through coaching by working one-on-one helping people through this path. So when I send you to an online resource, there's no upsell. I do the best that I can to provide as much as I can for free, because this information has so profoundly changed my life. And I just believe it needs to be out there. So if you head over to thejoywithin.org, the first thing I recommend is to get started with our free self-assessment. This will help you to understand how unconscious negative patterns are showing up in your life, so you know what to do about them. Then, I suggest you take the 7-day reset. You'll get clear insights and simple strategies that will help you to master step 1, so that anytime a stressful or a negative thought hits, you have the ability to step back, to find that moment of relief. That's the foundation to build on. Again, you can find both of those by heading over to thejoywithin.org, and I'll paste a link in the description below. So thank you for your time and your presence here today. Know that I love you and I appreciate you wherever you are, and if this resonates, please pass it on. I believe we have a responsibility to spread joy, both for ourselves and for everyone around us as well. And as we do, we become the change we seek, and that ripples out. So head over to thejoywithin.org to get started with your free self-assessment.